All right.
I don't know. All right, it says we're live. I don't know if we actually are live, but it says we're live. So we are going to proceed as if we actually are live. How's
As
that?
if we were alive.
How's
All
that?
right.
We're going to proceed as if we're live because, you know, time is of the essence. I honestly don't even know how to check what's going on. But anyhow, happy Star Trek Day Eve, Gino.
Yes. Happy Star Trek Day. Happy
Happy
Star Trek.
Star Trek Day. Yeah, why not do that? I honestly, again, this is more or less just a test of the live streaming. Again, I really don't know, like if all the settings are correct. So this is just a way to test it out, and figured why not? You know, tomorrow is September 8th. Tomorrow is Star Trek Day.
Mhm.
And it's also a Monday. It's a work day. So it would be very difficult to do something like this on the workday for me. So we're doing it now. Just a short, nothing major. Just a short little jaunt into Star Trekkiness. I'm trying desperately to find out um, if I'm actually live, so I could see if like there are any um, like if anyone's chatting, because I can never get the chat to work
Mhm.
inside what's it called, inside OBS as it is. So I said we're just to try. Let me click on this. I might
Nice.
have to keep the volume down. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. That would just
Speaking
be.
of training, do you have anything planned for your class tomorrow? Or,
Tomorrow, no, I'm not doing. I'm not doing the actual Star Trek lesson. The actual Star. Yeah, I'm not doing the actual Star Trek lesson until Wednesday. That's when we do the Star Trek lesson at my school. And this time, this week is cooking. We're going to do Star Trek cooking. They're going to make
oh,
alien
nice.
dishes, and my co-teacher and I, we are going to be making a couple recipes from the Star Trek cookbook, which I reviewed on the channel.
Oh, wow. Nice. How are they enjoying it so far? Oh, wow.
They are. Oh, I would just like to say it looks like we actually are live. I'm just testing things
Okay.
out. So I think we are. I think we are. So okay, I'm just going back in here. I'm not going to touch any more things. I think we're live. So we'll see how well this comes out. Oddly enough, the first term worth, it's a little weird schedule. The first term worth of this elective is about to end in 2 more weeks. So there's only 3 more lessons left. And then we got to sign up for the next term coming in for the second half. 3 of the students from the first term, they want to continue again, so they're coming back for the second term. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Very
I'm
nice.
surprised because there's so many reasons why like modern day Japanese high school students who were never exposed to Star Trek as part of pop culture would want to just run as far away as possible, but they seem to really be interested and they're going to continue, and I'm really happy about that. Plus we got right now we have 10 students, those 3 plus 7 others, signed up as their first choice for the next term, and it's possible we're going to get some others that we were their second or third choice if they can't get into the electives that they want. So this might be a much larger crew than the first term. So it's going pretty well, and
Nice.
I'm planning on doing a video about it once the first term is done, at the very least, just as a recap of what we did. I just got 3 more lessons to survive and see how the heck it went, but I think the fact that 3 of them want to join up again, that's a good sign. I think it's a good sign. I hope it's a
Nice.
good sign.
Very nice.
So maybe it's a good sign. But anyhow, so once again, happy Star Trek Day Eve 2025. I'm joined today by my good friend and my brother. You might know him as Lieutenant Shamvos, not Foss. Yeah, I don't even know him as Lieutenant Shamvos Thadagia in our live play series, Star Trek Next Frontier. This is Gino. So Gino, you could just introduce yourself to the audience void, I believe it is.
Ah, yes. Yes. My name is Gene. And as Bill has said, we've known each other pretty much all of our lives,
Pretty much.
brothers. And Trek has been something that has been one of our major bonds for such a long time.
Yeah.
Amongst all of our various interests, this was our major point of, excitement. I remember some of the earliest days sitting back playing, actually watching you play Mario Paint.
Yeah, Mario Paint, yeah.
Creating the Star Trek adventures.
Yeah.
And those were so fun. We would just sit there and our imagination.
Yeah, Mario Paint on Super Nintendo, they had the one option where you can like make basically pixel art. You can make your own icons, and we did pixel art version of all the different Star Trek ships. And we did simulations. We created like our whole galaxy in there. We moved the ships around. We had Klingon ships, Starfleet ships, and we did our like role playing there with those ships. You were the captain, and I would have to like move the controls around to get the ships where you want. I remember that. That was so fun. God, what a great memory to bring back. Yeah, hang on a second. I think maybe going to get boarded here. I hear someone coming upstairs, and that's not a good sign. Oh, they're trying to stop her. We got little Ferengis trying to break in to our little Star Trek party over here. Hopefully not. It's bedtime. Go sleep. Yeah, that's a good memory. So yeah, what basically today is I don't want to do too much. I just want to reminisce on Star Trek, talk about what we liked about Star Trek. That's a great memory there. Just kind of like a trip down memory lane to celebrate Star Trek Day, and then hopefully play another round of Star Trek 20Q. Hopefully if Gino has come up with a good idea to stump the computer, we'll do that. But speaking of memory and trip down memory lane, here's something I brought out. Can you see that, Gino?
Oh, nice.
Is it disappearing? Yeah. Is there too much glare on it from that light? So the Star Trek Micro Machines. This one, sadly, this is one that I didn't own back in the day, but it's one I was like searching for so long. This is the one that has the USS Voyager in it, so it's like super rare, super hard to get. I finally got it like a year or two ago. Haven't opened yet, but I also managed to get my hands on all three of the big box collector sets. Like back in the day in the town where Gina and I grew up, like Kmart was like the only thing we had. And they got set number 1 and they never got set 2 or 3. Like our town never got the cool stuff. Like if there was like a rare hard to get toy, it never came to our town.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But also, I think it might be in here. Pardon me. Is this the right box? Also, these two boxes. I don't know if you recall these from our role-playing days. These are where kept all the accessories for when we played Star Wars role-playing way back in the day. But they're still filled with the Micro Machine ships from Star Trek that we use. Enterprise C, the Excelsior, Reliant, all that stuff. Not all of them, sadly, which is why I tried picking up some of the others on eBay over the years. But yeah, these are like the little toys. These are the things that like really excited us back in the day. So
oh yeah.
So Gene, what was like your first experience with Star Trek? You are the one who really fostered my love of Star Trek, because you were into it long before I was, and then when I finally started getting into it, and I told you about it, like you were already well into it. You were already a solid fan. So if it wasn't for you, I probably would never got into it as much as I did. So how did you get into it? I don't know if you ever even told me. It was just. You've always been a Trekkie.
Yeah, it's pretty much Trek. I've known that since I was I don't know how young, but that was mostly due to my dad. My dad was one of the biggest Star Trek fans there was, and he watched, of course, the original series,
Mm-hmm.
and that was his thing. He had like major books. He had some of the comic books that were out at
Oh,
the time.
cool.
But what really got me into it was Next Generation,
Mm.
because there was nothing like that ever. Like, the first time I had seen that, we sat down that night. My dad sat us down and he said, "Watch this." He's going to sit down and watch this. And I'm like, "Okay, it's Star Trek. I know what it is." But no, that was something completely different. It was like the aesthetics and the environment, everything about it different. It was like something so futuristic at the time. It still is, but
Yeah.
in comparison to the original series. And like I said, my dad got us into Star Trek at a very young age. It was just there, always there in the background on a syndication. And that's pretty much it. It was something I've always known growing up.
Did you
And
watch Next Generation like when it first debuted, or did you get into it later? Did he show you like the start?
Oh yeah, when it first came out, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I remember it the first time we sat down. It was me, my brother, and my sister.
Wow.
And he sat us down because we had the Adelphia cable box.
Yeah.
So all the Adelphia cable
The
box.
Adelphia cable, yeah.
And he turned it on, and we watched the first episode.
Wow, that is so cool. You were there from the very beginning of Next Gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know if you remember. I didn't really get into Star Trek. I didn't really start watching it until like the final year of Next Gen. I believe like season 7 was when I started. Like really, because it was Deep Space Nine that really got me, and I think it was season 2 of Deep Space Nine. That was airing at the time, so that would have been season 7 of Next Gen. And like, so my first real episode of Star Trek was Deep Space Nine, just some random season 2 episode of Deep Space Nine. And yeah, I got into it. I didn't know you were there from the very beginning, because we never talked about this. You were just a Star Trek guy back then, so it's like, yeah, we could get into it, and like we really got into it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I was like only like what 7 or 8 years old.
That would be a start at TNG. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember shortly later that year, my dad bought us like some of the earliest Next Generation figures.
Oh.
I think we still have somewhere. Yeah.
Really?
Somewhere.
Oh, that would be fun to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a few of the figures. But I have one on the wall here. The reason why I bought this one, just the regular Borg, not Locutus, just like the first regular random Borg character they have. That was the first Star Trek toy I ever bought. Was this one. I opened mine when I bought it, because Gene and I, we played with toys. We played the heck out of our toys back in the day. So I had the Borg. I bought that before I even started watching Star Trek because it just looked cool. So I bought that, and I bought the Locutus toy. And I always thought, like, oh, it's weird. This robot looks just like the captain. I had no idea. Like, Locutus was the captain.
Oh, yeah.
But that's...
I think we had a few toys like that as well. Let's see. We had like the shuttlecraft.
You had the shuttle too. Oh, the transport was so cool. I think I vaguely remember you bringing the transporter out one day and showing me.
Yeah.
I vaguely recall something like that. Oh yeah, those were awesome. Those are really cool. I never had like those big sets except engineering. I think I got the engineering toy when Generations came out. So I think I got the Generations engineering. But
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were so fun. Yeah, we used to go to your backyard and play all the time. But the other thing that we were really big on back then was the Star Trek customizable card game.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah, we. Uh, I have a couple videos. Can't even open this tin because it's all like crushed together. But this one like has its certificate in there still. Well, it's teleporting away. It's teleporting away. Here we go. It has a certificate in there. Stop teleporting away. And this is the set that comes with like like a complete set of Premiere. I can't get it where you can see complete set of the Premiere. They're all still in the wrap here because I don't feel like destroying it and opening it right now until I find someone to play with maybe. But oh, we used to have such a good time like playing the CCG. Like we were the only two that played it. Nobody else did.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody else that played it at the time. I don't,
Yeah, we had to
I
just.
don't recall.
It was so fun. It was so cool. Like Magic was big, and then like a lot of people even like Star Wars, but even they weren't playing that. But Star Trek was like nothing. It was just you and me. So we would just play that like on my living room floor all the time, and that was it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We had no real crew. Now, I know we're just one more question, and then maybe we'll jump into the game and test this out one more time. See if the batteries work. If the batteries don't work, then forget the game. But just one more question before the game. What is it about Star Trek that is special to you? Like, aside from it being like just groundbreaking sci-fi that you'd never seen before, but why, like, 40 years later, basically, why is it still hooked into you?
For me, it was the fact that they had gone beyond all of the current divisions that we're at right now. And so
Especially now.
it didn't really affect their decision making and how they went about themselves. You know, it was so foreign to them that when you look at it, it's like they are living in the future. But it's not just that. It's just like they had overcome a lot of those things to the point where it almost seems alien, you know,
Yeah.
that you could actually live that way, you know, just devote
Humans
your
can
life.
live that way.
Yeah, humans can live that way, you know, science and just more than that, you know, just being able to interact with other people beyond all of these superficial or artificial barriers that are in place right now. And then having the ability to, you know, to go out and explore, you know, the greater universe, you know, all the things that most individuals want, but they're not allowed to do or they can't do. They can do that together, you know.
Right? Yeah, I like the way you say that. That it was like watching it like that's the future. It's not the technology, it's not the uniforms, it's
Yeah.
not the spaceships, it's the way of thinking is
Mhm.
just so beyond what you see in modern day that people they're not willing to compromise. They're not willing to think about too much more than their like immediate surroundings. But then in
Yeah.
Star Trek it's about doing what's best for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get that too. I think for me, it was the first like really hopeful sci-fi I ever watched. Like a lot of the sci-fi I liked was action or dark or dystopian. Usually, it's like sci-fi is kind of like dark fantasy almost. But Star Trek, yeah, I remember that when I was young thinking that Star Trek was really lame because it wasn't action. It was like what nerds watch. It wasn't cool sci-fi. It wasn't cool thing. So in my head before I'm watching it, that's the image I had because it's just too much peace. It's too much diplomacy, too much talking. What's exciting about that? But then when you watch it, like it did something. It changed something in me where like yeah, this is kind of the world that I would like to live in. This is kind of the future I would like to experience, or even not me. I hope our civilization gets to someday. Yeah, that's definitely Definitely. Oh, checking the time here. Okay, yeah, just to make sure, because again, we're just doing a very short stream. Don't want to do anything too crazy, and just want to do something special. Because I usually miss Star Trek Day every year. I'm never able to do anything, and I've been wanting to do more with live streaming, and then my schedule doesn't allow for it. So, getting around to it, test out, celebrating here, and I brought out our good friend Star Trek 20Q. We're still with the batteries from like 15 years ago, so I'm not really sure if it's going to survive. But Gene and I, we are going to attempt to stump Star Trek 20Q. And Gene, I asked you before to please try to think of or come up with our topic, our target for this guy to try to guess, and hopefully we stump it and he can't get it. So have you come up with our Star Trek person, place, or thing from the original series all the way up through Enterprise? It might have a couple of the movies too. I don't exactly remember how far into the movies it gets, but I know at least through Enterprise, so it might include Nemesis. But did you come up with your topic to stump the machine?
Well, actually, I haven't come up with a specific topic.
Okay.
I was thinking of more like random. Well, for example, what would be the name of Q's first appearance?
I don't know if it does like episode names. If that's what you're talking about. Like, I know it like tries to guess like things from inside the series. I don't know if I ever. I don't think it does. I think it's like you pick like a character or a starship or a planet or something, and they'll start asking you yes or no questions about it and try to guess it. God, that's a
Okay.
good question, whether it's an episode. You know what would be really great, especially for live stream, for people watching this later, like they tune in later and they're like, I'm going to get through this, see what they do, if the battery dies halfway through and we never get to the end. But aside from that, like, yeah, just any kind of like random character or maybe even technology or place. Do you have anything in mind? Like something try
Uh,
stump the machine. Like if it's Picard, it's probably going to get it really easy. So, so speaking of Picard, yeah, I'm also wearing my Picard T-shirt. I don't know if you remember my old Picard shirt from back in the day. It
yeah,
was
yes,
it was pretty
yeah,
much this shirt. I swear there's something different about this one though. I think it might be the color on the lettering and maybe the L cards was slightly different with the profile.
yeah.
Something was
I
different.
remember that.
The
I remember.
face is still pretty much the same, but when I was in high school, and Gene remembers this very well, I assume, I was in a pretty bad car accident, and I was wearing my Picard shirt that day of the car accident, and that was my favorite shirt at the time. I was wearing
Yeah.
my Picard shirt, and they had to cut it off me at the hospital while they were treating me. And I just remember looking down and watching Jean-Luc's face split into as the scissors came out of that thing. I'm like, no, no. I also lost my Michael Jordan Bulls jacket I was wearing at the time too, which, yeah, that would have been a pretty penny right now. But anyhow, so I had to get the shirt back because it was my favorite back then, and I loved it. And I'm going to do my best not to cut this guy in half if I can help it. But
Yeah,
vintage shirt. So he's still here watching from the bottom of the screen. Okay, anyhow,
that's,
do you have a topic, Gina? What can we try to stump 20Q with? What is
now I'm stuck with a particular character.
it? Okay.
How about Guy? Is that
Guinan. We could try Guinan. We could try Guinan. It might be such a popular character that it'll be easy for it to guess, but you want to try?
sure?
Let's go Guinan. Why not? We love Guinan. So, turning on. Oh, it started. It says, Greetings, human. I can read your mind. All right, so here we go. Engage. I'm going to have to read it for you. I turned the sound off because the sound is kind of annoying. So, I'll read it for you. There's a nice pixel art of the Enterprise flying by. Think of anything from Star Trek. Okay, we did. Thank you. Got pretty good graphics for this LCD screen. Ready? I'll say yes. Is it a sentient being?
Yes.
Yes. Question 2. Did it take the Starfleet Academy entrance exam?
No.
No. Question 3. Is it in good relations with the Federation?
Well,
I'd say yes. I mean,
I'd say yeah.
she worked on Federation ships, so she must be, right?
Yeah.
Does it make others laugh?
Yes.
Sometimes. There's also unknown and sometimes are choices too. What do you think? Yes or
I'll
sometimes?
say sometimes.
Sometimes. Question 5. Would it feel out of place on Earth?
No.
I would say no, because she's lived on Earth.
Yeah.
Question 6. Is it human? No. Definitely not, right? She's Elorian. Has Picard seen it?
I would think so.
I think so. He just ignores her every time he goes in. Sorry. Has it ever been involved in a war? Ooh.
Ooh.
Involved in a war? Maybe not directly. What would you say?
Ooh.
Because I don't know if she's ever been... Were they at war with the Borg? Or were they enemies?
I think they were enemies.
Should we say no or unknown?
I'd say unknown.
Let's say unknown, yeah. I'm more... It's going slow. Powerful than Q. It taunts you halfway through it, so you have to forgive me. So, here we go. Question 9. Has it ever used the holodeck? Well, that's obvious.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, I believe maybe even first holodeck episode she might have been there. There was one with her and Picard. Is it close to its family? Is it close to its family? What would you say?
Let's see. I know she has several children.
Yeah, but we don't see her with them.
Yeah. And I think she said she had a good relationship with her uncle.
Should we say unknown? Yes? What would you go with?
Unknown.
Unknown, yeah. Question 11. Has it ever been caught lying?
No. Well, I don't think so.
I think so, yes, because remember she lied to Beverly about hurting her elbow playing tennis when Beverly was quitting.
Yeah.
And she did that to trick Beverly into reflecting on her. So she did lie. And Beverly caught her lying. Yeah. So I'm saying yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it involved in a romance with a crewmate? No. Right?
No.
I don't. I'm trying to think.
Riker.
I mean, Riker got around, but I don't think Guy did. Has it received advanced training in its field?
Its field? I mean, if her field is bartending, I don't know. I think that's just a natural thing.
Yeah. Say unknown?
Unknown, yeah.
All right. Question 14. Is it a good negotiator?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. Question 15. Has it ever been beamed aboard the Enterprise?
Yes.
Yes. And turned into a child once when she did. Is it easy to get along with?
Yes.
I'd say most certainly yes. Question 17. Does it have unique senses?
Yes.
Most certainly again. Question 18. Is it always getting into trouble?
Mm,
I don't think trouble, right?
no, I
You,
don't think so.
you would say no?
No.
No. Beating me is more difficult than three-dimensional chess. And now the chess is kind of rotating around, spinning to show off the early 2000s technology. Does it practice special rituals? Does she practice special rituals?
Um, I would say it's probably unknown. They don't really show
Yeah.
anything.
I don't know. I don't know much about Elorium until like the Picard series, but that's not included here. So unknown. Unknown. Question 20. This might be the last one. Is it mechanically inclined?
Technically inclined.
I can't.
This,
I can't
I
think
don't,
of
I'm,
any.
I don't think so.
Shall we say no? I can't think of a scene of her like showing off mechanical prowess.
Yeah, I would say probably not.
No. All right. So it's going to. We're going to answer this. It's going to make its first guess. If it's wrong, I think it gives itself 5 more questions and then makes a final guess. Okay.
Okay.
So no. Here we go. I'm thinking your cloaking device. Come on, speed up now. Malfunctioned. It's Guinan, it says.
Uh, you are.
Yes.
Nice.
To deny the facts would be illogical. I win.
Okay. I see how that works. I see how that
Isn't
works.
that
That's
cool? Isn't that
nice.
cool? Play again?
Now,
No.
what does it go through? Up to? It goes up
I
to
think
Enterprise?
I think it includes everything through Enterprise. So all
Okay.
the series through Enterprise, and I believe all the movies that came out before the end of Enterprise. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to
That's excellent.
look. Yeah, isn't that cool? That was pretty darn fun.
Wow. I figured, I thought she was going to actually be difficult since a lot of her life is very mysterious. I'm like, they won't get this, but
Yeah, right? They get that.
that is,
How on earth are they going to get that? But this machine is crazy. Like we played it on the 100th episode celebration video.
hmm.
Played it with a couple others, and like it was so fun. Like I know Al Spader and Michael Dismuke and maybe even Jim Johnson. They all bought their own copy of it from eBay as soon as we were done. As like
Nice.
we thought we were going to stump it, and we did stump it on the 20th question. But then it got its bonus 5 and it got it. And it's like, how did that happen? But yeah, the thing is crazy. But anyhow, that is Star Trek 20Q. And hang on, let me check. Gee, how much more time do we have on this video? Do you have the display on there? Because we got to
Let
wrap
me,
this up pretty soon.
uh,
I don't know, maybe I can see on there. Oh, 5 more minutes. I see. I see it. I see it. Yeah, because we're just testing this out real quick. So yeah, last 5 minutes. So let me take a look there. So closing message, Jane. It's Star Trek Day Eve 2025, 59th anniversary of Star Trek. Next year is the big 60. So after today, I mean, we're in the 60th year of Star Trek, leading up to the 60th anniversary. So closing message, closing thoughts. What would you like to say before we shut this thing down?
closing message. Nothing in particular. All other than, you're going through some stuff, especially given today's current circumstances, and you're a fan of Star Trek, is to remember that Star Trek represents you. That is that is the best of you. That's why you connect to it so much, because that's who you are, what you are inside, and that's allows for you to experience that, and to see what it would be like, you know. not only in the future, but really what you wanted to be within. That's who you are. That's why you connect to it so much. That's why you love it so much. A lot of people love it so much because that's really who they are. At the fundamental core of their being. That's who they are, and Star Trek allows you to see that play out, like I said, on screen.
Yeah.
Because and it's not just who you are as an individual. I think it says something about humanity because that's really what humanity is. In spite, like I said, of all of our differences, in spite of all of our troubles now, why we connect to it so much. It's not just out of hope, it's because it's who you are. That's really what you are. And like I said, Star Trek allows us to see the best of what we really are, to play out in spite of our conditions
Yeah.
and present circumstances.
I love that. Yeah. It's like that's why representation's so important because it means something to everyone. So everyone wants to see themselves in that future. When you're a Star Trek fan, you want to see yourself live in that future. You wish you could be in that future. You wish you could have that kind of experience and like live in that kind of a world, if even just for a day, right? That
Yep.
that's oh, I wish we had more time to talk about this. Like, eventually, we're going to get some real live streams and that. Gino, maybe sometime in the near future, I think what we should do if we have a chance, do an online together viewing of Trekkies, the documentary, and just do
Yes,
some
yes,
talking through that. Because, I mean, exactly what you just said there, like, Star Trek is who you are, and the Trekkies documentary 1 and 2, what a showcase of what that really means. So
oh yes,
yeah, if you have some free time in the near future, maybe we could do it. Maybe couldn't do it as a stream because watching a video, but let's do recording of that and let's get to talking because I
yes,
mean you said it beautifully. That's and I think Trekkies demonstrates what you were talking about.
yes, absolutely. That would be fun.
All right. Well, I think well our test for this stream has hopefully worked. So later I'll get to go back on the channel and see if it actually did play everything correctly, audio, video, whatever. So if you watch this, thank you very much for checking it out. If you have your own comments, what does Star Trek mean to you on this Star Trek day? What are some of your best memories of Star Trek? Just write it down below, send a message, talk. We love talking with other Star Trek fans. That's what this channel is for. But Gino, thank you again for joining me today for this little
Thank you.
test and to be the first person I got to celebrate Star Trek Day with in a very long time.
Yes, thank you for having me always.
And I think that's it. So until next time, thank you everyone. Live long and prosper. Peace and
Live
long
long and
life.
prosper.
Thank you. See you.